Hi everyone, my name is Declan McGlynn and welcome to this week's plugin of the week, where we're going to take a look at Euro Reakt, which is actually part of Reaktor's blocks. We'll get into that in a second. We are of course sat in our amazing hub in our second facility here in London, and if you want to come and check this place out for yourself, we've got tours on Wednesdays at 5:30, which is just about right now, and Saturdays at 12:30. You can book yourself on by going to our contact us page on our website, pointblankmusicschool.com. You can come and have some fun in this place too. So today is about Euro Reakt, which isn't just a clever name. As you probably know, Euro Reakt has been a very successful modular synth format. It's been around for a couple of years now and kind of made the platform more affordable, which led to a lot of people adopting it and led to the rise of modular synths, among other things. Reaktor blocks came out last year, maybe this year, was it this year? I don't even know. This year, we'll say. And it kind of brought that modular synth kind of GUI. I mean, it's not that different to what Reaktor actually was originally, but it's brought it into a GUI kind of modulation-driven platform. And one of the things, the best thing about Reaktor is its user library. So on the user library, if you just cut to the screen a second, someone has made loads of replicas of original Euro Reakt modules for free to download. Not just someone, his name is Michael Hetrick, and look at that, 5 stars for 235 votes, that's how good it is. I think there's 140 plus individual modules for blocks. Some of them replicate some famous modules, some of them are a bit more obscure, and I think some of them are just ones that he made himself. So you can download those for free, and they're really awesome. So I'm going to show you very quickly how you can dive in and have some fun with those. So, hey, it's constantly making noise, I don't know why. Let's just turn it off. So first of all, I've got a little beat here. I'm just going to mute all this stuff for you guys so I can show you how it works. So let's go to Reaktor. There we go. So this is, again, Arturia's modular synth version 3, which has got a little updated GUI, which looks awesome. Very simple little kind of synthy, old school percussion sequence reset going. Didn't change it really at all, because that's not the point of this discussion. So what I've done is I've essentially added Reaktor as an effects module, and let's just click on the edit and you can see what I've done. So in Reaktor, you can click on the edit module and you can add in all these individual modules, and then once you click off edit, you get to see them in the nice GUI across here. So in this case, I've just added, these are all from Euro Reakt. So the Vert Reverb, comb filter, one Lfo. I actually don't even know what this is. I like the sound of it. Maybe someone can shed some light on that. And a tape delay. So if I just show you quickly how I did this. Right. So go into edit and click on the little magnifying glass. And you can browse to where you downloaded Euro Reakt. So you can see there, Euro Reakt. Once you unzip it, you'll get blocks, which are the name of the individual modules within Reaktor 6 if you're using blocks. Then under effects, you get all these individual little units. So got things like tape delay, vocoder, wave folder, waveform processor, wave shaper. I haven't dived into all of them, to be honest. But what I like to do is just like create my own little effects chain. And the reason you might be thinking, well, can I just download a reverb? Can I just get a delay plugin? There's hundreds and thousands of those out there already, and yes, you can. But what you can't do is feed them back into each other as easily and trigger LFOs across multiple plugins at the same time. So why would you want to do that? Well, that's a good question. So what I'm going to do is just press play. I'm going to activate Reaktor. So let me just mute each one individually. By the way, if anyone from Native is watching this, why can't we rename the inputs on the mixer? That would make this tutorial much easier. So I think so. I have to go back and check what number 4 is. So number 4 is a tape delay. So what I've got is each module's got its own channel on this mixer, and then you can just mute them individually. So tape delay is pretty standard. I like saturation, so it's up quite high. Sounds pretty cool. Feedback. So yeah, as you can hear, pretty awesome module. So it's also got a sample rate, which is quite unique to a delay plugin to emulate kind of early digital. When they were, as it tails away, it loses bit rate, so it becomes a bit crunchier. So it's a nice little effect. So we've got that running on channel 4. Just mute that. On channel 3, we've got It is the Vert Reverb. So let's have a look at this reverb. Again, it's got sample rate so it can decay in quality as it tails away. Pre-delay, pretty standard, damp, bright stuff. You can tune the reverb, which is an awesome effect. So you can put it at semitone down, and then usual mix effect. So that's obviously a very, very extreme. So yeah, we like that. And I'll show you what I'm doing modulation-wise in a second. On channel 2, sounds like a comb filter, but I'll just check it out. Yes, it is a comb filter. So a comb filter essentially creates multiple resonant points, and then you can move them around so they kind of self-oscillate. So really fun to modulate. As you can see, the modulation is very subtle at the minute because this LFO is on 0, so we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, really cool effect. Got feedback 0 on this, so let's put it way up and see what it sounds like. Oh, can't even really hear what's happening there at all. So anyway, frequency modulation, which can be linear or exponential, and a couple of other fun presets. So again, these are all individual. You don't have to run them through multiple mixers. You can just use them as an effect or put them as part of your own synth if you want to build that. That's the power of Reaktor. And then finally, on the first channel, it should be this Chebyshev. I imagine this is an emulation of a Euro Reakt module, but I don't know what it is. But I think it's fun, so I put it in. And I'm pretty sure it's generating harmonics, so first, second order, third order, fourth order, fifth order, sixth order, seventh order, and eighth order harmonics. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of what it sounds like to me. You don't really hear it so well in percussive sounds, but that's what it sounds like. And as you can see, it's completely flatlining my mixer there. So it's there to just like create some grit and complement the rest of the sounds. So if we start putting them all together, that's quite extreme. So we end up with something like this, which again, so it's cool, bit pointless, very, very modular synthy. So what it kind of comes into its own is when you start modulating it. So let me just stop that for a second. So what I've got here is an Lfo Wave Table LFO, and I've got you got 3 outputs. There's the general output, there's the unilateral and the bidirectional. And that essentially means unilateral means the LFO goes in one direction and comes back to 0. Bidirectional means it'll go from 1 to -1 across the range. And I think the output is the same as bidirectional, but maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm sure I am. And then I've sent the output into modular 1 onto this little third order harmonic thing. Then I've sent the unilateral version to the tape delay because I don't want it to slow down. I only want it to speed up and go back to 0. And what else have I done? I've sent it to the reverb as well and to the comb filter. So if we go back, and then you can slowly start to see things start moving as you increase the LFO speed. Now the wave shape in the LFO is defined by the wave table, and there's no graphical representation of what those shapes are, which is a bit of a shame. But they give some nice names. So you can just pick the one you like the sound of and the name of and see what you've got. So again, you can be as crazy or as subtle as you need it to be. Now let's just increase this. So you end up with something pretty mad that you can really quickly just throw together in Reaktor, and then you can just kind of, there's a dry wet mix on most of the stuff, so you can then just go around and make it a bit more subtle. And then what I would usually do when I'm kind of like, that sounds cool, I've just got a single MIDI note holding down all the Reaktor block stuff, and I'm just going to extend that out a bit further. And then just record it. I've got it rooted. Oh, let me just. Actually, I can't do that. What I would usually do then is just like route it into a record channel, and you can just mess around with all of the parameters as it's playing for the back to start. And then and you can change the modulation amounts, increase the sample rate, do all this kind of crazy stuff. And just have a play around with all the settings. And then you can balance it and just like have a play around with it. And I think that's the best thing about Reaktor is just messing around with stuff. Recording it out, maybe you find a little snippet that you like the sound of. And but it's not just for synths. I mean, you can just, what I like to do is like create the effect plugin on a particular sound and then just move it to another one. So let's just try it on this drum beat. That's from Apple Loops. See what it sounds like, probably crazy. So you just end up with like really happy accidents like that. Let me just extend the loop out. And again, it's worth just you can end up with like, yeah, really crazy sounds. Okay, as it just starts to distort a little bit. So there you go. I mean, we just stop that a second. I guess the whole point of Reaktor is experimentation. So you just dive in, throw things together. I mean, I'm not a Reaktor expert, as you can probably tell by my ensemble. I just start connecting things together, see what it sounds like. And to just kind of show off what else is in Euro Reakt. That's literally just the effects. There's mixing stuff where you can combine things, crossfaders, modulation, which is the kind of the whole point of modular synth, hence the name. And so I haven't even touched on that. So definitely download it. There's some noise stuff, oscillator samplers, sequencing, some utility modules, and all of it's free. So definitely worth downloading that and having to play around and just throwing some stuff through it and recording it and see what you get. You never know what might come out of it. And so there you go. That's Euro Reakt. Download it from, what's the URL? From Native Instruments. So yeah, just go to nativeinstruments.com. You'll find, just Google Euro Reakt and you'll find it on there. So you go, that is Euro Reakt. It's awesome. Good thing to download for the weekend to play around with. And again, if you guys want to come and check out our school or learn more about our courses, make sure you go to pointblankmusicschool.com. And we'll see you soon for another plugin of the week. Cheers.